Justin and Hailey just got caught faking their divorce. The glossy image of this so-called perfect couple has officially cracked wide open, and the truth is uglier than the Instagram filters can hide. For months, they've been playing an exhausting game, leaking whispers of a split one week, parading around in public the next, and letting fans whip themselves into a frenzy over whether or not their marriage is crumbling. But here's the catch. It's all part of a calculated plan, a scheme. A deliberate publicity stunt meant to keep both of their names in the headlines regardless of whether there's an actual problem in their relationship. And now the evidence is stacking up so high, it's impossible to ignore.
Months ago, I was really struggling mentally and emotionally, and just there was so many things that were adding up, and I wasn't able to enjoy any of the things that I own.
That stuff's not gonna matter to you.
None of the actual things did anything because I was so hurt and I was so confused and I was so sick and there was all these things and I was like, I can't, there's like...
This is not the story of a marriage in trouble. This is the story of a brand that has learned controversy sells better than sincerity. If you've been paying attention, you'll notice the pattern is almost laughably predictable. First, there's a sudden wave of tabloid reports hinting that things aren't right between Justin and Hailey, maybe a blurry paparazzi shot of Justin looking upset or speculation about them living apart. Then, instead of addressing it directly, they stay quiet just long enough for social media to explode with theories. Fans argue, gossip channels churn out endless videos, and the press can't stop covering it. And right when the tension hits its peak, they magically reappear together in public, holding hands or posting a cute couple selfie with captions about love and loyalty. Rinse and repeat. It's the same performance every time.
You just can't, like you said, you can't enjoy the actual physical, tangible, things that money offers, right? It really had to come from within. So that's I guess our perspective. And I think knowing that, going back to my faith in that time, I feel like I couldn't have it wasn't, I don't know. It just wasn't money and stuff that got me through it. It wasn't all the things. It was taking the initiative to say, I'm struggling. I need help. Who do I turn to? Who can I call?
Justin's music career isn't what it used to be, and Hailey's fame outside of her marriage is limited at best. In the cutthroat world of celebrity relevance, disappearing from the headlines is a death sentence, and nothing grabs public attention like a messy relationship. The couple has figured out that as long as people are talking, whether it's love or hate, their names stay on the trending charts. Search engine clicks go up. Social media mentions spike. Streams, merch sales, and brand partnerships suddenly get a boost. It's a marketing strategy disguised as marriage drama. The problem is it's working, and it's working because people care. Fans who genuinely root for Justin and Hailey hang on every rumor, desperate to defend them from haters. Critics latch onto the story to tear them down, but both sides are feeding the exact same beast. Every comment, every share, every heated debate is part of the attention economy they're exploiting. And when you realize how timed all of this is with their career moves, it becomes even harder to chalk it up to coincidence. Look at the timeline. Divorce rumors flare up right before a product launch for Hailey's Rhode skincare line. Suddenly, the internet is flooded with her name, not just from beauty blogs, but from gossip outlets too. Then, just as her products hit the shelves, the couple appears united, with Justin posting a song snippet or Hailey sharing a romantic post. It's the same when Justin has a new single or album coming out. Marital crisis headlines prime the audience, and then the public reconciliation becomes part of the promo tour. Instead of paying for massive ad campaigns, they're getting free coverage from every major entertainment outlet. All because people can't resist talking about whether their marriage is real.
The you of then was on a path of self-destruction.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would have, for sure, 100%. Yeah. It would have been no bueno. It was bad. I don't know if I'd be alive, for sure. It was dark. So I'm very, very grateful to have influences in my life that have played a huge part in me seeing their relationship with Jesus and their relationship with their wives and their relationship with their kids and saying that's what I want. But I want to definitely tell my story so that if that resonates to anybody, that they can hopefully. But yeah, just protecting those moments, because people take for granted encounters
And let's be honest, their public appearances have all the authenticity of a staged photo shoot. When they want to kill a rumor, they don't just grab coffee together. They make sure it's in a place crawling with paparazzi. They don't just post a casual picture. They post something so overly romantic it feels like it was run through a PR team first. It's not about being real. It's about creating a storyline. One week it's, will they make it? The next week it's, they're stronger than ever, and the audience is kept hooked like it's a never-ending reality show. But this tactic comes with a cost. In trying to control the narrative, they're sacrificing their credibility. For Justin, it reinforces the idea that he's leaning on his personal life because his music alone isn't pulling the same numbers it once did. For Hailey, it cements the perception that she's famous not for her own career, but for being Mrs. Bieber, and that she'll do whatever it takes to keep that title in the public conversation. Neither of them is doing the hard work of proving themselves through genuine talent or accomplishments. They're taking the shortcut of engineered drama. The worst part is they're toying with their fans' emotions. People invest in celebrity couples because they want to believe in the love story, but when that story turns out to be a marketing ploy, it cheapens the connection entirely. Those who defend Justin and Hailey online think they're helping protect a real relationship. In reality, they're unpaid participants in a PR campaign. And those who criticize them are just as useful to the strategy. Negativity drives clicks just as much as praise. Over time, this kind of manipulation leaves a mark. It conditions the audience to doubt everything they see. Is that fight in public real, or is it bait for headlines? Is that sweet anniversary post heartfelt or just damage control? When every major moment in their marriage becomes a potential PR stunt, it becomes impossible to separate fact from fiction. And the danger for the Biebers is that if they ever do face a genuine crisis, many people won't believe them. The constant staging of fake drama makes even real drama look suspicious.
And obviously you were there for me. I had so many people who were there for me, but, knowing that God was there for me, knowing that, God sent his son to die on the cross so that I was forgiven. So reading the Bible and reading all these stories that talk about people who experience similar struggles and face crazy, turmoil in their life, there's always these stories in the Bible that, Jesus would, basically, whether he was healing them or whatever it was, he was always making it the priority that we know that, if our souls aren't anchored, if our souls aren't secure, all the other stuff, whether we're sick or we feel, just whatever it is, the facts are that Jesus forgives us for all of the error and the wrong that we, that we have done in our past and continue to do because of, the human condition. We're all imperfect. So, knowing that, I was forgiven in a time where I was hurting and broken. That's what brought me through and let me know that, don't give up. Don't give up. You're good. So
the pattern also sends a toxic message to younger fans. For teens and young adults watching this unfold, it normalizes the idea that love is just another form of currency, that relationships are tools for building clout and driving sales. That's not just bad for the Biebers' image, it's bad for their audience's understanding of what healthy relationships look like. And here's the reality check. If they truly wanted privacy, they could have it. Plenty of celebrity couples keep their personal lives under wraps. They could stop posting every detail online, avoid feeding rumors with cryptic posts, and focus on their careers instead. But they don't, because the drama, the speculation, the headlines, is the career. The marriage isn't just a commitment between two people. It's the most valuable marketing asset they have. That's why these divorce scares always happen in waves. It's a formula they know works, and until the public stops reacting exactly the way they want, they'll keep running the same playbook. In their world, controversy isn't a threat to love. It's the secret to staying famous, but in the long run, it's a dangerous game. Once the audience sees through the act, the interest dies. And when that happens, no amount of fake drama will be able to put them back in the spotlight. So yes, Justin and Hailey just got caught faking their divorce. Not because they're in love and fighting to make it work, but because they're fighting to stay relevant. And while they might think they're playing the public, the truth is catching up to them. The headlines they manipulate now could be the very reason people stop caring later, because eventually everyone gets tired of being part of someone else's marketing plan, especially when that plan pretends to be a love story. The real danger for Justin and Hailey isn't just losing credibility with their audience, it's losing control of the very narrative they've been trying to manipulate. When you build your public image around engineered drama, you invite other people to start filling in the blanks for you. And right now, that's exactly what's happening. The moment these divorce rumors hit the internet, they don't just live in carefully curated tabloid stories anymore. They explode across TikTok, Instagram Reels, Reddit threads, and YouTube commentary videos where thousands of voices start dissecting every tiny detail, from the expression on Justin's face during a concert to the positioning of Hailey's wedding ring in a selfie. Once the speculation starts spiraling, even the people trying to manage the narrative can't stop it. And that's where the cracks in their plan are starting to show. In a world where the public can slow down videos, zoom into photos, and analyze timelines down to the hour, you can't just rely on vague leaks and conveniently timed photo ops. When people notice the same cycle repeating over and over, they start connecting the dots. They see that the trouble always seems to pop up right before a new business move, and they realize they're being played. Once that suspicion sets in, the drama stops feeling authentic. And worse, it starts feeling insulting. This backlash is already brewing. You can see it in the tone of online comments. At first, people were panicked or sympathetic when a rumor would surface. Now, a growing number of fans are openly rolling their eyes and calling the whole thing a stunt. In some ways, Justin and Hailey have created their own parody. The very thing they hoped would make them look compelling is starting to make them look desperate. And desperation is never a good look in Hollywood. It signals that the spotlight isn't shining as brightly as it used to. For Justin, this shift is particularly damaging because he spent years cultivating the image of a superstar who didn't need gimmicks to stay on top. He was the teen ADHD phenomenon who became a global icon. But now, instead of dominating music charts, he's dominating gossip blogs. For Hailey, the damage is even more personal. She's long fought accusations that she rides on Justin's fame, and this PR strategy only reinforces that narrative. If every public move she makes is tied to their marriage, then her individual identity in the industry continues to shrink. Worse still, this cycle of rumor and reconciliation erodes trust with the media itself. Entertainment outlets might play along for the clicks now, but the press isn't stupid. Journalists and editors know when they're being used, and when a story starts to feel too manufactured, it loses its news value. If outlets begin to believe the Bieber's drama is nothing more than a repeated publicity trick, they'll eventually stop covering it with the same urgency. And when that happens, the free promotion pipeline dries up. Then there's the question of longevity. Publicity stunts can give you a boost in the short term, but they're not a foundation you can build a lasting career on. If Justin and Hailey keep running the same play over and over, they risk burning out their audience entirely. The public appetite for celebrity drama is huge, but it's also fickle. People move on quickly, and once they've labeled you as predictable, they stop paying attention. And here's the twist, neither of them seems to be considering the same formula they're using can easily be turned against them. If someone else in their circle, a former friend, an ex-associate, even an industry insider, decides to leak information that contradicts their staged narrative, it could blow the whole operation apart. A single credible source confirming that these divorce rumors are manufactured for attention could permanently damage both of their reputations. It would change the public's perception from they're a couple in turmoil to they're frauds manipulating their own fans. The ripple effect of that kind of exposure would be brutal. Brand partnerships could dry up overnight. Sponsors don't want to be associated with people the public believes are dishonest. Streaming numbers could take a hit if fans decide to boycott Justin's music out of frustration. Rhode's customer loyalty could weaken if buyers start associating the brand with personal drama instead of product quality. In short, the stunt that's keeping them in the headlines now could become the scandal that pushes them out of relevance entirely. There's also an emotional cost to playing this game for too long. Even if they're both fully complicit in the plan, constantly living in a state of manufactured crisis can strain any relationship. Every fake fight, every staged reconciliation, every awkwardly posed photo becomes part of the job. And when your marriage starts to feel like work instead of a real connection, the actual bond between you begins to fray. Ironically, the constant faking could lead to a real breakdown, and if that happens, they won't be able to hide behind the script anymore. At the end of the day, Justin and Hailey's current strategy is like building a house of cards. From a distance, it might look impressive, balanced, deliberate, even beautiful, but the slightest disruption can bring the whole thing crashing down. All it takes is one moment of truth, one leaked text, one slip up in the performance, and the carefully constructed illusion shatters. And when it does, there's no going back to the days when people believed in the fairy tale. The truth is, you can only fake a divorce so many times before the act becomes transparent. And the irony is, if they keep it up, they might end up facing a real one. Not for the clicks, not for the headlines, but because they turned their marriage into a brand campaign instead of protecting it as a relationship. When that day comes, the public might not be interested in the comeback story. They'll just see it as the inevitable ending to a love story that was never about love in the first place, in the